driving. Driving is something that we all do. You turn 16, you get your driver's license, and you drive for the rest of your life. But let me ask you, have you ever seen an accident or an incident that occurred that involved an elderly person that looked like they didn't belong behind the wheel of a car or a wheel of an automobile? Well, according to an article by Andrew McGill of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Jody Guthrie, she was 30 years old, an expectant mother, was standing outside of a Rite Aid drugstore. She was standing on that sidewalk between where the cars park and where the wall is. When an elderly gentleman came out of the Rite Aid, proceeded to get into his automobile, went to put the car in reverse, instead he put it in drive and pinned her against the wall in the vehicle. They called the ambulance came, took her to a local hospital. Unfortunately, she didn't make it. This can happen to any one of us. I know we have a local Rite Aid just right down the road. I've been on a sidewalk between where the cars park and where the wall is. In fact, ours has a red box. A red box, for those who don't know, is a place where you can rent movies and take them to the house and return them. People line up or stand there, which is right in front of the parking spots where anybody could do this to them. So this could happen to any one of us. With that, I want to talk about the effects of aging on the body and how your body reacts as it gets older. I want to talk about some statistics with aging and driving. And then I want to provide you some solutions, some things that we can do to ensure that our roads are safe. So everyone of sound mind and body has the ability to obtain a driver's license. Unfortunately, not everybody is of sound mind and body. According to the website for Mayo Clinic, they've got a quote in there that says, muscles generally lose strength, endurance, and flexibility as they get older. These factors can affect your coordination, stability, and balance. Coordination, strength, flexibility, all these things are things that we need to be able to do in order to operate a motor vehicle and operate it safely. There's another article, Vision Problems, 2018, that talks about several eye problems that occur as you age. These are presbyopia, floaters, dry eyes, tearing, cataracts, glaucoma, retinal disorders, conjunctivitis, Corneal disease, eyelid problems, and temporal arteriitis. Mouthful. Anyway, all that's telling me is that there is a lot of eye problems as you age. As you get older, your eyes age, your body ages, and these provide issues with driving. But aging is a part of life. If you're living, you're aging. But we need to understand the circumstances of aging and driving and how they correlate. On the CDC's website, it states in 2015, more than 68,000 adults were killed and more than 260,000 were treated at the ER for motor vehicle crashes. This translates to an average of 19 killed and 712 injured every single day. A study conducted at Carnegie Mellon University talks about fatality rates for drivers over the age of 85. It says that they are 4 times higher than for teenagers for the fatality rates. Teenagers get a bad rap. There's a big debate right now of whether 16 is a good driver's age or whether they need to go up to 18 to make it safer on the roads. While that does need to be talked about and an issue in itself, elderly drivers without the proper functions is also something that needs to be discussed. But that doesn't include all elderly drivers. There's not just like a cutoff age. You don't turn 60 and all of a sudden you can't function. So there are some solutions or some things that we can do to ensure that as you get older, you still have the capability to drive a vehicle. Some of these things are eye exams, doctor's exams, and hearing exams. Ensure that your eyes are still functioning properly or well enough to drive. If they're not and you can't drive at night, we can put restrictions on your license or things of that sort. Hearing exams to ensure that you can hear the other vehicles around you or sirens if they're coming up behind you. And doctor's exams to ensure that your body is still functioning at a level that can operate a vehicle. Another thing is at a certain age, you get a driver's test. You got to retake your driving test and maybe take it on a regular basis every 5 years. So I'll say you turn 65, you take it again at 70, 75. And then in your 80s, you might shorten it down to like every 2 years. But this also ensures that you have the capabilities to drive a vehicle and be safe on the roads. The last thing I want to talk about is information. Information for alternative driving. I'm not sure that all elderly individuals know that they have the capability to use public transportation or private transportation, and that there is specific transportation just for elderly people to get back and forth. Because let's face it, as we get older and our bodies deteriorate, we have more and more doctor's visits and more things that we got to get to. So our body ages, so does our eyes, so does our ears, and as we age, we've got to pay attention to these and make sure that we can still operate a vehicle. The statistics tell us that as you get older, that each crash can be your last crash, and it's more likely that it is. Eye exams, doctor's visits, more driver's tests, and providing all the proper information can ensure that you, myself, our friends, and our families can drive safely.